They tried to silence a priest, but his voice became the cry of a nation. Óscar Romero was born in 1917 in a small Salvadoran town called Ciudad Barrios. The son of a telegraph operator, he grew up in simplicity, quiet, shy, and deeply faithful. From the age of 13, he felt a call stronger than anything else, the call to serve God. He entered the seminary, studied in Rome, and in 1942 was ordained a priest. For decades, Romero lived as a humble servant of the church, cautious, conservative, a man who avoided confrontation. But while Romero devoted himself to prayer and parish work, his country was collapsing. El Salvador was ruled by a wealthy elite. The poor toiled as peasants, while the government crushed anyone who dared resist. Protests were silenced with bullets. Unions were outlawed. Priests who defended the poor were branded as enemies. The nation stood on the edge of civil war, and in 1977, Romero was appointed Archbishop of San Salvador. To the ruling elite, he seemed the perfect choice. A bishop who would keep the church silent, but only weeks later, everything changed. On March 12, 1977, Romero's close friend, Father Rutilio Grande, was assassinated by government-backed death squads. Grande had worked among poor farmers, preaching justice, preaching dignity. His murder lit a fire in Romero's soul. At the funeral, before thousands, his voice trembled with grief. But his silence was gone forever. From then on, every Sunday, his sermons were broadcast across the nation. People huddled around radios, their only source of truth. Week after week, he named the murdered. He denounced torture, repression, injustice, and he called soldiers to disobey immoral orders. In the name of God and in the name of this suffering people, I beg you, I implore you, I order you, stop the repression. To the poor, he was hope. To the powerful, he was dangerous. And the threats grew louder. On March the 24th, 1980, Archbishop Romero stood at the altar of a hospital chapel, celebrating Mass. As he lifted the chalice, a single shot rang out. The bullet pierced his heart. The Archbishop fell beside the altar, giving his life for the people he defended. At his funeral, 100,000 mourners filled the streets. The government opened fire on the crowd, turning a mass into a massacre. El Salvador plunged into 12 years of civil war, but Romero's voice did not die. In 2018, the Catholic Church declared him a saint and martyr, a symbol for all who struggle for justice and dignity. Óscar Romero lived as a humble priest and died as a fearless prophet. He once said, "If they kill me, I will rise again in the Salvadoran people." And today, his spirit still rises, wherever voices are silenced and wherever the poor cry out for justice. Michelle.